Hello and welcome to another edition of Sand Shark Bites. I'm your host Justin Jarrett, joined as always by former firefighter James Duffy. Things that we learn about our friends around here. Most recently I've learned that Duffy used to fight fires out in Colorado, the western wildfires, and has been shot. So now you know too. A couple of fun Duffy facts to start you off here on Sand Shark Bites, and just to kind of get the ball rolling. We have plenty to talk about as far as USCB athletics go. It's all been happening outside of the sphere of our campus, though. Everybody's been on the road. We've had to work overtime to keep up with what's happening out on the road. And where to begin? I guess we'll.
I'd say start with noting some just highlights of our outside of the scoreboard, where Coach Brian Llewellyn.
Brian Llewellyn, that's a great spot to start. Brian helped us kick off a new season of Sand Shark Bites. He was on the first episode of the new season, and now he is the new king of USCB baseball. We've only had 2 head coaches of USCB baseball, but Brian has won more games than the other one. Rick Sofield started the program. We won 101 games in 3 seasons. Brian Llewellyn took over in season number 4. He's now in his 4th season, and he now sits at 103 wins. Going into Friday's series at Thomas. Picked up 5 since we last saw you. Swept 3 at Florida Memorial. Got a little tense a couple of times, but we pulled them all out. Had to spend an extra day down there in the rain. And then came back up here and got 2 more on Tuesday at Bruton Parker. Put him over the top to 103. So Brian Llewellyn, the winningest head coach in USCB baseball history, albeit a fairly brief history. And
well, he went from last to first in a matter of 2 hours.
Yeah,
so.
Worst to first. But no, I mean it's very impressive for him to do that in a short period of time. Especially considering last year was certainly a down year. He really kind of had to rebuild the program from scratch almost after that team that he inherited his first year had so many seniors from the inaugural season on it. Lost like 16 seniors who were letter winners that year. So really had to rebuild the whole thing from the ground up, and now we're sitting at 16-4. And
a great-looking team.
6-3 in the conference, and looking really good right now. So bravo to Coach Brian Llewellyn.
And along with those victories, the long ball's really started to come alive too. We've seen more home runs in the last week than we had seen pretty much the whole season up till that point. The guys are starting to hit the ball a long way, and it's looking good. And
I'd have to look it up, but I think we have now out-homered last season's team 20 games into the season. I'm pretty sure Ashley Morris alone has 3. Yep. Johnny Cole has a couple. Ashley didn't hit one in his career in his first 3 seasons, and he's got 3 in 20 games this season. He hit 2 in Game 1 at Bruton Parker on Tuesday, including the go-ahead shot in the 7th inning. Pulled out a couple of wild ones there, 11-7 and 8-5. But always good when we can beat those guys.
But until Nick Payne had hit that home run, 2 Fridays ago, we didn't have any. We were absent home runs on the list, and now they're coming alive.
Yeah, the ball's flying out of the yard, and props go to Pat Cottrell on that. Pat Cottrell, first-year hitting coach, or first-year assistant coach, and he's the hitting coach, and man, he's done wonders with some of these guys. We got 4 guys batting over 400. Almost everybody in the lineup sitting over 300. Ranked in the top 10 in the NAIA in hits per game and runs per game. So the offense is alive and kicking. Yeah. Junior Delatorre has thrown it well. Jamie Strock pitched a complete game at Florida Memorial. Blake Drew is now tied for the single-season school record with 5 saves. And again, we're only 20 games into the season. We got a long way to go still. So
and we got plenty of room in the coach's corner schedule that we can get something from Pat to come in and maybe do a little.
Yeah, maybe we can do that. Get Cottrell in here. We can do the in the studio MLB Network, showing us his swing kind of thing. Maybe get him to hit a few balls for us.
I probably have a bat in my office. I'll bring it down. The other side of the
not the only team hitting home runs. How about that softball team? They keep smacking it around too. Went 2-3 at the NFCA NAIA Leadoff Classic. That's a mouthful. But don't be deceived by that record, because that was a really good performance. Got a couple of big wins there. Lost a couple tough games to ranked opponents. Lost one to Thomas University, who's a conference rival. But that was also a little bit of a chess match, a little bit of a poker match. Neither coach really wanted to show their hand, and Coach Everling pitched Christy Cook for 2 innings and then took her out, and the bullpen got roughed up a little bit, but got some experience, and she didn't show her. They have a bunch of new players in that lineup for Thomas, and she didn't let them get too much of a look at Christy.
I had a student in my office this morning who was talking to me. She's, I think, a third-year player now, and who, I don't want to give her away, but she looked at me and said, "We just got to admit that Thomas is good." And the problem that she feels that the Sand Sharks are facing is that we're trying to maintain to be these champions of characters, and having these really deep rivals, it's hard not to talk a little trash here.
Yeah, and Thomas is good, and I think what we found out this past weekend is that the Sun Conference is good. This conference has really improved over the past few years, and in the past it's been one or two teams that have been marginal top 25 teams, and then it dropped off pretty quickly after that. I think when the new polls come out, right now we're the only team in the top 25. I think Thomas is going to jump way up there. I think Ave Maria is going to get a pretty strong look. They made it to the gold bracket there as well. Southeastern is having a good season. Embry-Riddle's fallen off a little bit this year, but they've got some players. They're going to be dangerous. So it's going to be a fun season in the Sun Conference, and St. Thomas is always a factor. They've always got a lot of speed. They play a style of ball that is really difficult to deal with when you don't see it on a regular basis. So it's going to be a fun season in Sun Conference softball, and we got a whole bunch of stars on this team, but we had a couple really star-studded performances down in Columbus. We had Christy Cook. We're almost tired of talking about her at this point. Year number 4. We'll miss her when she's gone, but we sound like a broken record. A one-hitter in the opening game of the tournament against Belleville, excuse me. And then had a no-hitter, her 7th of her career, against Campbellsville, Kentucky, which is a team receiving votes in the top 25. So she continues to pitch exceptionally well. Won Sun Conference Pitcher of the Week honors this week.
For the 10th time.
10th time in her career.
10th time.
I've just stopped printing her certificates. She doesn't care. She could wallpaper her bedroom in them at this point. And Haley Brown broke a school record as well. 3 home runs in a game on my birthday. She's now my hero.
October on Thomas there.
3 consecutive at-bats to start the game against Thomas. She hit home runs, and I've now told her she's my favorite because she did it on my birthday like I was a sick boy in the hospital or something, and made my day. So Haley Brown, great to see her swinging it well. She hit 4 home runs in the tournament. Maddie Bird hit a ball that I'm told
came down eventually.
If the ball could weep, it would have. They played on a men's slow pitch dimension field with a breakaway fence, and she hit a ball that landed on the warning track of the men's slow pitch field that went over the other team that was practicing for the next game in the outfield beyond the actual fence. So that's how far she hit that one. If you need a comparison in Hardyville, where we play, it would have been at the Palm Trees.
Yeah, when she came to me asking for sponsorship for the Hit-a-thon over Christmas, I had to go kind of lowball her on that one too.
You just go ahead and pencil in the maximum. When
just
she
put in
hits
the maximum. It was her and Taylor that both took a lot of money from.
Well, and that was a factor too. Taylor Triplett, she had suffered an injury at the tournament, and was unable to play those last 2 games. The 2 games that we lost to LSU Alexandria and Thomas. And that's an all-American caliber bat you take out of the middle of the lineup, and even though we have some depth, that's one of your best bats. So that's a factor as well. And hopefully she'll be ready to go for this weekend because they have another big tournament coming up. They're going to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and believe it or not, our pool's even tougher there than the one we just faced. Going to face number 1 team in the nation, Auburn Montgomery, which is defending national champion. And then we're going to face Central Methodist out of Missouri, which actually won the NFCA tournament and beat Auburn Montgomery there, as well as Belhaven, which is another top 10, top 15 team. So really, really stiff competition and another opportunity to prove ourselves on the big stage.
So we got coming up in just a few minutes we got men's golf coach Chris Cuneo.
Yeah, Cuneo's coming on.
And then, but what are women's golf? We just finished our own tournament.
Women's golf just finished up in Kiowa Island, 3 days up there, and don't be misled once again. 24th place finish, which sounds like holy cow, must have been a rough week. 24th out of 40. And only 2 of us were NAIA. Everybody else was NCAA Division I. So we finished ahead of 16 NCAA Division I teams, which is, when you look at it that way, pretty impressive showing. And really, Coach Alexis Bennett was a little bit disappointed with the performance, especially on the last couple of days. So, that team continues to challenge itself and play well. And Tori DeGroot had a good week. She shot a 71 in the opening round. First time we've had a round under par in a little while, so that was exciting. Moa Christensen started to get it going a little bit. She struggled a little bit.
To see our top 2 players both being Americans was kind of a unique
yes, it was.
In the USCB leaderboard there.
The 2 seniors, Tori and Sam O'Donnell, were at the top, so that was good to see them play well and exhibit some leadership. And the freshmen struggled a little bit more, maybe a little more jittery playing it with the big dogs, so to speak, but confident that they'll get back on track. They've got a home match, so to speak, coming up on March 16th. They'll play at Old South in just a little 5-team meet, and hopefully get that one. Some northern schools coming down to get in some spring break work, and they haven't seen the grass in a few months, and we've been playing year-round down here, so maybe we can beat up on them.
Just that one day when it got cold, they weren't out there playing, but
yeah.
And then track and field.
Track and field got rained out. Doesn't happen very often with track and field, but when you go to Savannah State, you never know what's going to happen. And sure enough, they got there. They canceled the meet. They had to turn around and come back, and I know they were bummed. Those track kids get fired up.
Such a great showing the week before too at the Savannah Eye Opener, and they'd really looked great. And we gave Player of the Week last week to Megan Atkinson.
Yep.
Throwing that javelin 3 meters farther than any Sand Shark had thrown one before. It was great. But they're going away this weekend, going up to Myrtle Beach.
That sounds right. I think they're going up to Myrtle Beach on Friday. I understand the javelin actually is canceled up there because the javelin area, whatever it's called, the Javelina pit, is underwater, so they've
makes it a whole new game.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, that's what I said. Just making a new event, the underwater javelin. But the javelin is canceled, so they're actually going to go to Savannah State again. They've got another little small meet that they're going to go over there and throw javelin and get their work in. So we'll keep you posted on that stuff. I'll track down all those results on Friday night and get them up on uscbathletics.com. Keep you updated on that. And as you mentioned, men's golf had the week off, but they're gearing up for their Sand Shark Classic, which they host out at Oldfield on Monday and Tuesday, March 9th and 10th. And we'll talk to Chris Cuneo about that and about the season thus far in just a few minutes. And anything else, Duffy? You got any improvisational comedy to throw our way or anything?
Right now, let's hear from the coach, and then we'll come back and give us an athlete of the week there.
All right. Well, I've got an interview with Chris Cuneo. That's up next here on Sand Shark Bites. Welcome back to Sand Shark Bites, joined now by USCB men's golf coach Chris Cuneo. And Chris, it's getting to be that exciting time of year. We're gearing up for the Sand Shark Classic, the annual event out at Oldfield. Been a couple of great tournaments the past couple of years. We've been right there in the mix. Won it a couple of times. Came in second last year to the top-ranked team in the nation at the time. So it's been a good run. We always play well that week. I know you're looking forward to it. Got great weather on hand as well. Tell us a little bit about this year's event, who's coming, and how's the field shaping up?
Yeah, the field's good once again. Coastal Georgia, who won the NAIA National Championship last season and also won the Sand Shark Classic, is returning. They're currently ranked 4th in the nation. Johnson & Wales will be here coming up from Miami, and they're ranked 6th in the nation. And then Thomas University, ourselves, and Dalton State are all more top 25 teams. So in a field of only 9 schools, 5 of them are ranked in the top 25. It's going to be a competitive and exciting tournament. Yeah.
And Thomas won the Sun Conference Championship last year too. So that's that conference, this conference that we play in, just an incredible golf conference. And any time there can be 5-6 teams ranked in the top 25, you really are. You play those guys week in and week out, you're going to be battle tested.
Yeah, that's right. The Sun Conference, from really top to bottom, has gotten better the past few years, and it is the best, if not, one of the best top 2 conferences in the country for golf. And I think most sports, really competitive, and we're looking forward to finally getting some decent weather. I know it's nice and warm out today. Friday's looking not so great, but it's supposed to warm back up for the weekend. We're looking, mid-60s and sunny for a golf tournament, so I know the guys are pumped.
Always nice to have a home game too. I mean, in the golf world, you got to go stay on the road for a couple of days, and you're playing unfamiliar courses a lot of times. What advantage is it to be at home, sleep in your own bed, be on your home course where you know all the nooks and crannies, know all the shots?
It's a huge advantage. That's why, we finished runner-up last year, just got edged out by Coastal Georgia, and then the previous 2 years we were tournament champions. And anytime, Oldfield's a tough golf course, and it's a course you need to play and get comfortable on, especially the front nine, learning how to play it, and then knowing where to push the gas a little bit and try to make more birdies, especially on the back nine. And it's a good golf challenge. So playing at home and playing at Oldfield every day almost is a huge benefit for us.
Also nice to get everybody a little bit of chance to play. You try throughout the season to kind of mix up the lineup and get everybody an opportunity to get some competitive rounds in. But when you're at home, you get to play everybody in the Sand Shark. Everybody gets that competitive experience. That's always nice. And it seems like this year there's a lot of depth. You've got 8 or 10 or 12 guys really who could be in that top 5 any given week.
Yeah, I mean the qualifying for the Sand Shark Classic has been extremely competitive. Considering the weather we've had, I was really pleased with some of the scores that have been shot. And right now, it's anybody's ball game to be in the starting 5. I really do have a deep lineup. It's going to be difficult on me to make the decision on who is in the starting 5. And it's, a possibility that the B team, we have the opportunity to finish 1 and 2. It's just that deep right now.
Yeah, you always be kicking yourself about that guy who's on the B team whose score would have helped out the A team, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Yeah, Judd Malam's a guy who hasn't cracked the lineup a whole lot, but he went out to the Savannah Quarters Individual Intercollegiate, played great, runner-up there. Brad Curran has played very well so far this season, had a 6th-place finish in the last tournament. So anybody else that you're looking who might jump up there, who's got the game going really well right now?
Yeah, Judd's played solid this spring. Brad's played better than he has in the fall. We needed that. Looks like Alan Cook might be coming off his knee injury fairly soon. Who else? It's really whoever wants to step up and make it their week. They have that opportunity. The guys are so evenly matched. They can all beat each other on any given day, and it's tough for me. It's their opportunity to take the ball and run with it.
Spectator-friendly course out at Oldfield as well, especially on that back nine. You can get around the last few holes pretty easily. Some really great viewing holes. The short par 4, 13, I guess it is. 12. Number 12, short par 4 is a really fun hole to hang out at and watch folks try to clear try to drive the green there. So if golf fans don't have anything to do on Monday and Tuesday, March 9th and 10th, come on out to Oldfield, check it out, cheer on the Sand Sharks politely. And it's not quite the Waste Management Open out in Phoenix or anything. Let's not get rowdy, but polite golf claps for the Sand Sharks. Cheer them on, and check out some great college golf. It's going to be fantastic, and we thank Coach Chris Cuneo for joining us here on the show. We'll have more coming up next on Sand Shark Bites.
At the University of South Carolina, Beaufort, we offer small classes, individual attention, and an affordable education in an atmosphere that fosters diversity and achievement.
We are students.
We field 9 Sand Shark sports teams that compete in the Sun Conference.
We are athletes.
We are one university with 2 campuses serving the coastal areas of South Carolina and Georgia.
We are the Low Country.
We are the fastest growing 4-year school in the University of South Carolina system. We are USCB.
All right, Duffy. So you're going to be out there doing your golf clap.
Yeah, come by. I'm on spring break too next week. So if there's not too much on the honey-do list, then I could make the wheel down to Oldfield. And
Cuneo may be able to put you to work. He's always looking for people to add up scores and all that. Yeah,
coming in and getting put to work.
Yeah, but the workers get fed. We get box lunch on Monday. We get a nice barbecue buffet on Tuesday. Good Oldfield food. Now we're going to be flooded with volunteers out there.
Oldfield does treat us right when we have any programs over there.
You're not kidding. Not kidding about that. But yeah, it's always a good time. Weather looks beautiful, so that's a big plus. That's the one thing you can't control with a golf tournament is the weather, and you just hope and pray, and usually spring break in the Low Country is a pretty nice time to be here, and it looks like it's going to be pretty good, mid-60s, just about right. So hope to see you out there and see some other folks out there too. Now, we did not do any deliberation on this.
We had no deliberation.
We did not deliberate on the Player of the Week. And we got some candidates too. We've got, Haley Brown's 3 home runs in a game. We've got Ashley Morris's 2 home runs in a game. We got Jamie Strock with a complete game 4-hitter against Florida Memorial. But it's really actually pretty easy. There's some great candidates, but there's nobody who can touch Christina V. Cook. Christy Cook is your Sand Shark Bites Player of the Week, and it's pretty hands down, really. She threw a 1-hitter and a no-hitter back-to-back in the in-tournament play.
She crossed over a 400th strikeout?
No, sir. She just crossed over her 300th a couple weeks ago. So she's got a ways to go, to get to 400. She's about 320 or so now. But she'll get there.
If we keep mercy ruling everybody, she's not going to face enough batters.
She should get there. I think she may get to 400 this year. We'll see. But Christy Cook, she picked up the win in both of our wins at the NFCA NAIA Leadoff Classic, and is now 5-0 with a 0.66 ERA. That's minuscule, microscopic, if you will. Yeah. So Christy is back in her All-American form that she was in as a sophomore. She had a down year last year. She was just like 20-5 or something, some pitiful record like that. Was still below a 3 ERA. So she's been just a rock star her whole career and doing it once again here in her senior season. And we're expecting more great things from you, Christy, and from the USCB softball team and from all the Sand Sharks. It's been a great spring so far, and we're looking forward to seeing it through. And we will talk to you about all that happens Sand Shark related again next week, same bat time, same bat channel, on YouTube, on County Channel, or wherever you pick us up. And we'll see you then. And until then, keep those fins up.